Yes, 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 yes. Good morning. Excuse me. I'm trying to see if the director is back. He went out. I was looking to see if that was somebody on his detail. Anyway, good morning. Easy Bake. Easy Bake. Remember Easy Bake? I was Easy Bake. First off, this shutdown, okay, is really ticking me off. I need President Donald J. Trump. I don't know what, I think it's a mechanism he can use under his presidential powers to get Congress. I don't know why they on any type of break. First of all, should nobody have to drag you back to Washington? It was a bad look to go on break in the first place. That ninth hour in the cover of dark foolishness, that him and the rest of them cooked up in the wee hours of the morning and then ran tail up out. Yeah, whatever got to be done. I mean, listen, Donald, like I was telling the men a couple of weeks ago, when I was asking them about, letting us know where they stand, along with this agenda of trans and children and why they not saying anything, to let us know if there's something suspect going on, because you ain't got to worry about people being mad at you. They're gonna be mad anyway. They always looking for something to be mad at. So same thing applies. You already know they're gonna be mad. So just you need to kick that, because there's no reason. I don't know if it's a legal mechanism. Heck, them people always creating something. Why don't you reimagine? And because it needs to stop. You got people working not just at TSA, and I know y'all go. You and Mullen, Secretary Mullen, working to pay the rest of DHS that are not working. I'm a contractor, so luckily, the contract is paid, so we paid. And then where I am is fee-based. So, well, it's fee-based until, as long as we got people doing the right thing with immigration, so we largely are covered by the fees. And, it's only 2 programs that are affected by the shutdown. But at any rate, it's not cool. We got too much going on in the homeland for people not to be at full capacity. And when you're not getting paid, your mind is divided on no doubt what you should be doing, and compromise. We need to focus on doing what they need to do. At some point, that's why I'm like, it's some things that defy politics. The safety of the country defies politics, and the selfishness. That's why I can't stand them. ICE, whether they like it or not, is funded. They fund it. But and then people, that's why I tell people to read and change channels, because you're stupid and don't know. You know half a story or half of anything, but yet you go by what somebody said. I ain't going by nothing nobody said, because ain't nobody out here Jesus. I'm checking everything and going from there with my opinion. That's why a lot of people are willingly turning their children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews and everybody else over to be transocratic. Their minds are being tortured and tormented, and they unstable, destructive. Can't put kids on a bunch of drugs and think that they're going to be okay. They're already going through hormonal changes in their body. Just insane to me that you got people sitting up thinking, but don't nobody have no smoke for that. Y'all got smoke for stuff that you ain't even got to have smoke for, because if you get it right spiritually and biblically, we won't have the issues that we have. But y'all done threw the Bible out the way, but yet you want to sit up and tell me you got a hallelujah on your breath? When you ain't worried about the things of God, you can't tell me nothing. Can't tell me nothing. Can't tell me nothing. And a lot of people can't tell me nothing, because you ain't worried about the things of God. It should be nobody that knows Jesus and knows the word, knows his word, and how he considers how precious God looks at children and what he expects from us in life. It shouldn't be nobody that should be on board with the foolishness that these people push. Oh, because they say it nicely. Didn't God tell you charm is deceptive? Y'all need to go eat up some proverbs and get some wisdom and understanding. Not leaning on your own understanding or following or running behind the feet of mischief. That's why everything is off kilt, off kilter and off balance. Leadership, order, all that's just dumbed down. Look at Lord, education, dumbed down. Making these kids dumb for the purposes of, what can you do when you dumb? When you dumb, you act out. Anybody that has worked with children, the children that act out the most of the ones that don't want to be called on, they either act out or they don't say, or they quiet, sitting in the corner waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. They're not thinking of a better way to do something, and I'm not talking about being destructive. They're sitting there docile and dumb and destructive, pliable, because they don't want nobody to understand or uncover that they don't know how to read, that they don't know how to do this, that, and the other. But now it don't matter because they working on making it equitably equitably distributed stupidity. So everybody is equally dumb out here, and parents have fallen for it. You wouldn't have had me falling for it. I remember when Isaiah was in high school over at Friendship Collegiate Academy, and they had got a new principal, and that was when I think California, one of them school systems had started pushing the whole, a D was going to become a passing grade or whatever foolishness. So I asked him, I said, let me ask you a question. Are you intending on changing the grading system? See, I watch people, because when I know you like certain people who align with certain mindsets, I want to know where your mind is. So I said, y'all going to make that where these children are not striving anymore to obtain, the best grades that they can by utilizing the minds that they have been given. He said, oh, no, we're not going to do that. I said, thank you. That's all I want to know. Because if I see you doing it, it's going to be a problem. Y'all done sat there and let these people talk you into lowering standards for your children. Now, some people were smart enough to get their kids out of schools that was lowering standards. One of my friends did that for her child. Suitland High School. Sure enough, a couple of years ago, pulled the child out of there when they said it was okay to get a D. If a child is mentally challenged or, has some type of, maybe. But when they're not working up to par, and when you're not challenging them to work up to par, see, when you're not requiring them to work for anything, they're not. A lot of people not. That's just like adults now. They don't want to work towards nothing. I hear stories all day long, all the time. Especially assistant with trucking business. I hear stories all the time. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, what? But then you work the bare minimum, but then you mad because you only made the bare minimum money. If you want to make more money, you need to be consistent about getting money. But I've had these conversations before, but nobody want to listen. So like I said, I'm not impressed. Y'all get mad over things that are so stupid. And in the long run, I'm not talking about in the short term. See, I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking beyond today and down the road when the children, because make no mistake, if we don't get it together, folks, and start making some sacrifices of being disliked by our children or whoever, or being misunderstood, or being called crazy, or holding the line for standards and God, these children are going to destroy everything. And then you have people that, y'all are tricked out by, that are making laws to take from you more of what you earn, not for your children, but to give away to some people that don't work and haven't worked for it. Why would you allow somebody to come And my mind goes to New York because I'm still baffled at New York, but okay. When you have somebody lowering, if your house is worth $750,000, and then they tax you to death, you got a death tax. You want to change the rate on the death tax so that it encompasses more people, not just the rich people, because they running the rich people out of New York. You can't. They talk a good, but you know who generates money and jobs? The rich people, the companies. They pay rich people with companies. Their companies pay business tax, and you got all these regulations in all these cities and states. They got to pay fees. Ask me. I know. They're going trucking business. I'm like, the fees are astonishing. They need to cut some of that crap. But then you got freaking jokers that was out here getting CDL licenses and things, putting everybody in danger, don't understand the language, and haven't been tested properly. They on the roads because people was giving them CDL licenses and people don't understand why it's being cracked down on. Y'all got to be the special kind of slow. Y'all so busy worried about what these people, they tell you stuff and you don't even get to thinking. You only think, they said, he trying, we don't want the black people or the brown people or the this person or the that person to have no money. No, it's your safety. Why you want to ride beside a truck 70-something thousand pounds current equipment? And they don't even know what they doing on the road. But you don't watch nothing. But don't tell you everything news. Don't tell you everything news. DTEN. DTEN. Don't tell you everything news. DTYEN. So I ain't impressed by a whole lot of people. Because if you ain't mad about the children as young as God knows what, being told, my daughter had told me when she was over there working out at the hospital, she said, why did the nurses calling babies it or they? She said, I would be mad if somebody called my child, but that's where you are. That's where y'all are. Y'all allow these people so they think it's okay that they can call babies it's and they. Because what they're trying to, y'all see, I know I posted an article a couple of years ago about they was really saying you gotta wait, don't assign the gender at birth so the child can make up their mind and decide. God decided. Y'all ain't mad at that? Y'all ain't never got smoke for nothing. You scared to stand up for God? You don't want people to know that you support God. You don't want people to know that you support God. But yet, a lot of people will see the young man Jaden Ivey, and a lot of us, I ain't know who he was, because I don't follow a lot of sports, because sports, they're gone to trash. They busy promoting things that are not about God, so I don't have no time for that. You're not supposed to allow the world to affect what goes on in the church or your godliness, but you're supposed to impact and affect, because by what you show people in your message, you're not going out into the world and making disciples among the nations, and that's the problem. That's the charge. Whenever they say, go out into the world and spread the gospel to all nations, y'all want to spread it to just whoever you supposedly told to spread it to. It's supposed to go to everybody. Oh boy. I'm gonna stay on because y'all need it. I want to get a couple of more people as fired up about what's being done to these children, because the children are the ones that have to get the baton. They're not fit and they're not ready, and you can't have them ready if they're not mentally, but most of all if they're not spiritually ready. And these kids are not spiritually ready to take on nothing. They're going to fall for anything, just like a lot of adults. And that's a piss poor example that a lot of us have given. Fall for anything because it sounds good. Because the people that God said don't listen to are the ones that the world say listen to. So you listen to them, but they telling you wrong. Falling away. But you have a glorious day in your falling away, loving self state. We'll be back to talk about a whole lot of education mess and transocrat mess. And oh boy. Yeah, buddy. I do believe God is going to show a lot of people something. He always showing you some stuff, but you still don't. But he gonna show some people something. The rest of you that got your eyes already closed, you won't be able to see it. But he gonna show something. He gonna show it, because you can't keep playing with his name, and you can't keep not spreading his word throughout the nations like you're supposed to, and yet you want to keep talking about, oh, I'm a saint, I'm a super saint, I know better than anybody. You don't get the word. You don't have no word. You don't have no word because you're not spreading it where it needs to go. And you're not spreading it the way it should be spread. You lying. You twisting it. You want to make a new gospel? Well, when you add or take away from the gospel, you're falling short of the glory of God. Like all do. Woo woo. Happy Tuesday to you. Go get some truth.